showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix.
Give them that flavor.
All right. What is the deal? What is going on, folks? Yeah, man, I am here. I'm here for one more episode in the bank for you guys. As usual, I'm going to bring it. I may bring it on time. I may bring it late, but I will bring it to you guys. At the very least, I want to give you guys a weekly talk on what's going on around in the world, what's going on in my life. Hopefully your week has been super happy, super productive, and hope everything has gone well for you guys. So I am your host, Nova Phoenix, on GCOM Radio, on iHeartRadio, and we're gonna get right into the topics that I have that I want to share with you guys, and we're gonna get started. Let's see if we can do this in 20, 30 minutes. Let's see what we can do. Okay, the thing that I spoke to the dude. Remember that dude I told you on the last show, talking about that hypertech group and how that I don't want to get sued. Allegedly, they seem like a Ponzi scheme. What do you call it? Pyramid scheme type of deal. Well, I spoke to him, reached out to him, and I was like, yo, man, you still messing with this group? And he's all in it, man. He's all in it. And then he proceeded to share a link, and we're texting back and forth. And he shares me a link saying, hey, man, if you don't believe, you got to go check this on out. So, I check out the video. It's about an hour long, and it's a Zoom kind of meeting. And basically, I forgot the title of it, but they were saying, pretty much the authenticity of this site. And it's weird that you have, quote unquote, an official site dealing in the fintech sector having to prove themselves. Like no other company that I have ever known, that I've ever used, whether it's social media or whatever, that they had to come out and prove themselves to people, that they're legit. So anyway, this is what this lady is talking about, and she had some other people, other folks on the call. And the thing that, again, I can't understand how this guy can't see that. But anyway, the thing that kind of raised my eyebrows, that threw red flags for me, because they were saying don't talk on any of the social media networks, don't share anything that you're talking about, don't try to post anything anywhere else. If you want to post something within the hypertech group or whatever, and if someone comes in there and says something disparaging or negative energy, try to avoid them. Don't share anything with them. And if they keep on talking bad about whatever you posted, then just delete your post altogether. But we don't want to, I'm like, what? So it's and it was a lot more to it, and I'm not going to care to like go into the detail of it, but there were several things even in a half hour that I did hear. There were like 3 or 4 things, and I'm like, this does not seem like a legit outfit. Alleged as far as being a Ponzi scheme. That's the key word phrase here. But yeah, it was super weird. I'm like, wait a second. I mean, and I told him, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm on Webull, I'm on Coinbase, I'm on Robinhood, and what else am I on? I can't remember the other side, but I'm on that. And all up in the cryptocurrency, and and Coinbase. Did I mention Coinbase? Not one of them has ever tried to create some video to prove that they're a legit cryptocurrency platform. I'm like, it was just weird, man. I mean, look, Hypertech Group, they really talk a good game. But then when you get into the meat and potatoes, when you get deep down on what they're asking you to do, by giving them money, I'm like, and giving them money in a way that, just put money in this digi wallet and just watch the interest grow. And you're supposed to look at it for the next 18 months as this number kind of like, compounds in interest, but you can't get it out. You can't do anything with it. So I'm like, huh? And it's so sad because I'm like, This is not what you need. There are already enough skeptics and people that do not believe in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, all the other digital. They think it's fluff and it's made up. Like Peter Schiff, I was listening to the Pomp show, Pompliano, and he had Peter Schiff on the show. He's, I guess you could call him an economist, or he's into tradings and stocks and all that, and he totally doesn't believe in cryptocurrency. So, you know, you have a guy that's established out there in the I guess in the public conversation when it comes to being against cryptocurrency, that we got enough, you know, bad. I want to say he's a bad guy, but skeptics that really do not believe in cryptocurrency. And then when you have these businesses that come up like Hypertech Group, it just doesn't do anything to push the positive aspect of what cryptocurrency can mean to you as an individual and to the world. So yeah, man, I suggest you folks steer clear of Hypertech Group. That's my opinion. That's all I'm giving. If you do not believe me, you can Google them and you can search them. Like I said, it looks really good on the face, but when you get down to it, it's like, huh? It's just so fishy, man. It's crazy. So the next thing, Phil Pabon, man, that brother was a mover in hip hop over the years. He passed away from pancreatic cancer several days ago. In the 90s, he helped build the cross marketing and co-branding campaigns for Mecca. He did it for Nietzsche. He did it for Fila. He made millions, and he also dealt with Fubu Clothing, Samsung, South Pole, whole bunch of companies tying in the hip hop culture. And unfortunately, this brother Phil Pabon passed away, man. I forgot what he passed away from, but I didn't even know of him too much. And that just goes to show that, you know, you could be a powerhouse, you could be making millions of dollars for companies and have a presence in the hip hop culture and you not know people. I didn't know. I have no idea who this man is, but I'm just showing my respects to this individual as a human being first. That he did, you know, lose his life prematurely because of his pancreatic cancer situation, but that, you know, he made his impressions and made his presence felt in hip hop culture, and did a lot for hip hop culture and people that live within it. So rest in peace to Phil Pabon. Thank you for your contribution to the art form. New York, man. New York has a mandate for people to wear masks, man. In gyms, in restaurants, in stores, in supermarkets, in every place where you have to be on inside. And it was a tweet that was shared by Mayor de Blasio that they're enforcing this now. I mean, what a time we live in, man. What a time. And you know what? I respect that in a lot of different ways. You know, if you're a private business and you want to protect your customers, you have every right to enforce certain things when it comes to your restaurant. I mean, we do it already. I mean, you can't wear shoes to certain clubs. You can't walk into a club with a t-shirt. I'm not with a t-shirt, with a tank top, right? You can't do certain. You can't walk into a club wearing a tutu. Well, maybe some clubs, but you know what I mean. I'm like, we already have these rules for certain venues and clubs and, you know, stores. I'm like, you know, if they want to wear a mask, wear a mask. You know what I mean? So the other thing that was a recent development is they want people to come in and as far as having their vaccination shot IDs, they're going to have to show that around. And that is also going to be like a huge, it's going to set up an uproar, because there are folks that don't want to take the vaccine, and that's their prerogative. If they don't want to take the vaccine, they just have to properly protect themselves if they are unvaccinated. But there's going to be a lot of people that are going to just like, that are going to avoid certain places because of the fact that you have to produce a vaccination card, you know. And, you know, I'm kind of split down the middle with that. I understand, again, I understand where they're coming from, especially when you're dealing with a lot of people in a very confined space. I get that. But then what do you do with with all the other folks that really don't believe in the vaccination, that chooses not to get the vaccination. You know, they're shut out from living their lives, and you're trying to paint them in a corner to get this vaccination shot. And it's in ways I can see that as being unfair, because again, even though I got the vaccination shot, my whole thing was I wanted to see how this plays out in the public, and then let me look around and I'll make my own decision when I'm ready to take the vaccination shot. And so I did. I waited for quite some time, and then, you know, I've talked with the fam, and, you know, about the whole thing. I made the decision to move forward, and I did it. But again, I wanted to be absolutely sure. You know, you're rolling this thing out, you don't know what the effects are going to be. So I wanted to see for myself, not just on the news, but ask around, ask people that I know, people that I work with, people that some friends, some family friends, like, yo, how do you feel? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's hard to deal with, because you know that this is a pandemic, and untold amounts of people have died, not just in the United States, but around the world. So of course, countries, nations want to protect their citizens. But it's not, it's not easy when you have a situation like this that's politicized, from other folks with agendas, and then you have your conspiracy theorists, and then you have even real history. When it's speaking with particularly African American people, there's some real history, some real distrust with the government that the black population has when it comes to trying to help the populace. So, you know, in that sense, I can totally understand. But yeah, man, it's gonna be in an uproar when you're gonna have to start producing vaccination cards. And if someone came to me and they're in the street and saying, look what they're doing, I say, yo, man, I understand. I'll try to give them the opposite side of why they want to do it. But, you know, everybody has a right to know what they're putting in their bodies, and refusing if they feel some type of way about it. So we'll see how this goes, man. Haiti had a 7.2 earthquake, man. Unfortunate, man. Prayers to the people in Haiti, man. A 7.2. That's nuts. I heard a lot of people died. Of course, dealing with the housing situation. There's always been a problem economically that was going on with Haiti, and then having to deal with the earthquake. Man, it's tough. And you know, I would like, in some ways, to help out in Haiti when the time is right, because I think, you know, I don't want to sound callous, but where there's pain and struggle and despair, and the people that lack the tools and the how should I say, the structure in order to build their surroundings, there's always an opportunity to do that. Rebuild. I mean, it happened to the Western European countries after World War II. I mean, they were in shambles. People really don't have an idea of what happened to these European countries after World War II. It was decimated. They had to rebuild because they literally blew each other up to rubble. You know what I mean? So check any documentaries out about World War II and what the Allied powers and you know, Germany, all these other countries had to do to rebuild after the last bullet was shot. But yeah, the same thing with Haiti, man. Here's an opportunity for Haiti to rebuild, but you just have to get all the meddling outsiders off of Haiti, and people that was going to come and really do the work for Haiti. And my thing, I suggest, let's not do American Red Cross. I'm sad to say, because American Red Cross did the same thing. Remember, they had the earthquake before? I think it was about 10 years ago or something like that. And it was this huge thing. Oh, we got to help Haiti. And American Red Cross was one of the bigger companies that was collecting funds so they could build housing for Haitians and all this other stuff. And then that was a clusterfuck. It was like 3 houses built. Yeah, man. If some sort of support, NGO support, financial support is going to go to Haiti, then it's got to be like an independent grassroots organization that has the ability to collect the funds and talk directly with the people on the ground in Haiti to see about rebuilding. You know, getting some skilled folks to build back the roads and the infrastructure and the electricity and the sewage and all these things that a country needs to get back on their feet. So yeah, when the time's right, hopefully the Lyfeblood could play a part in that in some way. It's a great opportunity to do that, to get the Haitian people back on their feet. What next? Jay, man. Jay's making his move permanently to Los Angeles. He's starting his own cannabis company called Monogram. Yo, that's crazy. This brother is always on the move, doing something bigger and better. And my man is diversifying his bonds. Diversify my bonds, nigga. Yo, so yeah, man. So Jay-Z's making his permanent move to LA, man, even though he's got a home here. And I just thought he'd never leave New York. I just thought he was a dude that would probably move to Jersey or upstate. Now, you know, my man's having a permanent crib over there in Cali. So that's surprising. But, you know, big ups to Jay-Z, man. And I brought him up because I remember when he came up, I met, like I said before on the show, I met him twice, bumped into him twice, whatever you want to call it. He's you know, from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, and to see this brother come up from Reasonable Doubt and him having to really hustle his music before, when no record labels wanted to deal with him and Dame, and they had to like scratch their money together, however they got it. You know what I mean? For him to be who he is, and to see him now seasoned, you know what I mean, in the game. He's hip hop royalty. And it's always a pleasure to read good news of what's happening with Jay and Beyonce and the kids and all that. So big ups to them, the whole Carter family, man. Speaking of New York, man, yo, the homeless problem in New York is out of control, man. I swear to God, every time I go through 125th, East 125th, and the homeless problem is serious. People are walking around East Harlem with serious mental issues, man. Serious mental issues. And I'm watching this, and what really kind of hit me was when I saw a lady on the floor wearing a t-shirt, nothing else on, just wriggling on the floor. Whatever mental episode she was having, she was having it right there. And I'm like, damn, I was in a car, I was driving by. But yeah, there was up and down from like 116th all the way up to 132nd. Like, there's just this homeless section of people with mental issues, just meandering around, walking around, just like they have no place to go. They go get their little fix of there's a drug facility on Randall's Island. So they go hop on the bus, go over there. Some of them, they take their little hit, whatever that's given, and they come back. And they just mill around 125th. Wherever they want to go. And it's crazy. I see it every day, man. And this lady was trying to sell me a left boot, Tim. She was like, you want a left boot? I'm like, sorry, ma'am, I'm good. I got Tim's on. You know what I mean? Like, and then she's like, all right, you want this cassette tape? Either it was a cassette. I didn't even hear the whole thing what she said. Either it was a cassette tape or cassette tape cut. I'm talking about VHS. She just pulled that out the plastic bag of VHS. That's like crazy. Like I know. What's my brother name? Oh man, what my man was running for mayor. What's his name? You know who I'm talking about. Man, I'm running. What's my cat? My cat's tripping, man. My cat's trying to jump up, and now he losing. All the pictures falling off this damn fridge. He always want to jump. Andrew Yang. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he decides to go up another way. He usually jumps on the counter. Well, now he wants to jump up the side of the damn fridge. I don't know what's up with this cat. Anyway, so yeah, Andrew Yang. So Andrew Yang caught a lot of flack because he probably didn't say in the way that he wanted to, but I think he was caught in frustration on everything. But we got a homeless problem, and we got people just walking around them, walking over them, and because people got to work, people got to make money, and they got to raise their families, and they got to take care of themselves. But it's this thing, man. It's like I see it every day, and I'm like, yo, how is the richest city in this country can't seem to get a hold of people with mental problems? Like, I mean, there are a lot of different ways where you can deal with that. There's got to be, but damn, man, it's like if you could see what I see every day, and then I'm driving up on by right before you jump up on the when you take the oh my God, the bridge over to Jersey, folks, you know what I'm talking about. There's a bunch of ramps that take you off. I think I forgot the exit, 16 or something like that, and 16 takes you to. Damn. Here we go. Hold on. See, that's why I got the internet though. Let me see, the George Washington. My bad. All right, the George. So right before you jump on the George, there are all types of ramps. You know, it takes you to different parts of the city. But right there, before you go to George, on those ramps, or when you're trying to go from what am I gonna say, from where is this at? This is somewhere. This is not even 125th. This is in Washington Heights, and you take the on ramp to connect up towards the George, right? If you want to go to the George Washington, but really it's the ramp that takes you down to the Grand Central. And I forget the exits. I don't know the exits, but you know, the point what I'm trying to make is a bunch of homeless people be on those ramps, man, the on and off ramps, just asking drivers for money. I'm like, they're over there, 125th, and they travel over to the west side of 125th. Man, they keep on kicking this Democrat or whatever, but they keep on kicking that can down the road. Like nobody does anything. Nobody does anything about the homeless issue. Now, who is a council member in that district over there on East 125th? Like, really? Like, I'm sure, are you not raising hell when it comes to these city council member meetings? Like, are you not talking about, hey, man, this is not only a problem for the people with mental issues, but for those that live in the community? Like, I'm sure these conversations are happening, but it's not getting on the news. This council member is not. I mean, there's all types of ways where you can get your voice heard. You don't have to be on channel 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11. If you're the council member of this district, you can literally get on social media and you could blow up from there if you really had a problem with the homeless or the people with mental issues in your district. Like, I mean, come on. Anyway. Speaking of homeless, again, this is a connecting story. Yo, Dr. Dre's daughter, man. Dr. Dre's daughter is homeless, living in a car, and that came out a little bit. Shannon Sharp and DL Hughley kind of backed, Dr. Dre. Yeah, I don't understand how this woman is full grown woman. I think she's like 35 or something like that, living in a car, saying that Dr. Dre, her father, doesn't want to support her anymore. I'm like, oh, hold on a second. Wait, you a grown ass woman, you living in a car? Why is this happening? And I know exactly why this is happening. Dr. Dre was feeding her money every week, every month, and she felt privileged that she didn't have to do a damn thing. All the way, and was, Dr. Dre kind of, was he kind of feeding into that? Yeah, more than likely, because he kept on giving her money way into her 30s. But I'm saying, though, come on now. Let me tell you something. If Dr. Dre is my second, third, fourth distant cousin, you best believe I'm going to be like, yo, Doc, yo, what's up, bro? Dre, let's get this business rocking in any way. I'm not going to ask for a handout. I'm going to be like, yo, I got this idea for business. Yo, you want to get down with me? I'm like, in any way possible for me to get that money up. But yet, oh, my God, his daughter is living in a car, and I don't know what she was expecting and what the news article was promoting, expecting like to assassinate the character of Dr. Dre or whatever. But that, to me, that backfired, because that's a grown-ass woman right there. She better take care of herself. Yo, that's nuts. And the last is Syesha Mercado. Everybody knows Syesha Mercado at this time. Her husband, Tyron Denier, they went to the hospital. Matter of fact, let me back up. They got their kids taken. Everybody knows at this point what this story is about. She used to be on American Idol. I don't know. I really don't watch American Idol like that, but she was on American Idol previously, but now she has kids with her husband, Tyron Denier. Her kids got taken. Her 18-month-old son, Amin Ra, was I guess they were doing a doctor visit at this hospital, and they were saying that the Amin Ra was malnourished, and the doctor felt that was a reason to call child services, and she got the son taken. And this happened, I think, back in March. And I can't believe it. This happened back in March, and this is August right now. That's crazy. And, you know, that happened. And then what really kind of got this story moving for it going viral was the video's already out that her daughter got taken, and their word got out with child services, and the sheriff was called, and you see this whole video of them trying to take her newborn daughter because they were saying that they want to take her to the hospital to see if she's getting her regular visits. But Syesha had documentation to show that she did go to the doctor, but they took the kid anyway, and it was horrible. I didn't see the whole video. This is crazy. That really hit home for me. She does have a GoFundMe. I mean, it's everywhere. Everyone's covering her story, but definitely, if you want to help support Syesha, go to her GoFundMe page. It's called Bring Ra Home. Her target was 200,000, but she made well over that. She's at 413,000 last time I checked. But keep on giving them money because they have to pay for, you know, lawyer fees and everything like that. And it's happened down in Florida, so it's nuts that this has happened. I don't even understand why. Malnourished. I didn't even know it was that easy. But supposedly, what they were saying that this doctor is accused of. Let me see. This actual doctor that was seeing them at the hospital was actually in some sort of a. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, they were saying that the physician, who oversees cases like this one at all Children's Hospital, Dr. Sally Smith, was also the subject of a USA Today network investigation where she was accused of being too quick to diagnose child abuse and too critical of parents and caregivers. And she says she denies the claim. The doctor denies the claim. Now, wait a second. Now, where there's smoke, there's fire now. We got a smoking gun. If this woman was covered in USA Today network, you know, maybe Syesha and her husband were victims of this. So, you know, I threw them some money. I donated some money to their GoFundMe, man. So, you know, I fully support them financially, and I'll keep giving them money and emotionally and whatever, because we can't have situations like this where, you know, doctors gonna make these rash decisions and say, well, we got to take your kid because it seems like they're malnourished. So I'm like, huh, what? And the other thing was they denied a B12 shot because it looked like they're like naturalists, like they're really not into injections and all these other types of drugs that the hospital wants to give them. And they was like, no, I'm gonna talk to my husband. And they're saying that the doctor kind of like felt like, wait a second, that was added reason to take her son Ahmed Rob, man. So please go to their GoFundMe page and donate to the family because they need it. All right, folks, I'm gonna get out of here now. I think I spent longer than I wanted to on here, but it's all to the good. I appreciate you listening to me. As always, I'm gonna bring you something every week, no matter how small, even if it's 10 minutes. I just want to stay connected to you guys. But yeah, I'm steadily working. I'm really not on IG and or Facebook or any social media like that as much. I'm just really so focused right now. I'm focused. I'm on it. I'm tired, but I'm grinding it out. And as soon as I get some progress on what I'm doing, I will inform you guys. So I appreciate you listening to me. I'll see you guys next week. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. All right, peace.
Check it.
You just listened to GCOM Radio, powered by Lyfeblood.com for the global community.
We worldwide, baby.
See you in the next go round. From right here to your town, we out.